Good morning, Jeff Clemens from Okeechobee Livestock Market, trying to give you a fair and balanced report this week about our cattle prices and what's going on. Um, First of all, I want to tell everyone who was supportive and gracious in the passing of our mother last week. Ms. Ida Clemens passed away at 99 years old, and we had her memorial service. It was very sweet. Thank you for all you people that were able to either attend or support that. We know where she is, and we appreciate your prayers and your support in that time. So, into the report now. As far as the market this week, we had a good run of cattle again. We had about 1,100 on Monday and close to 1,300 on Tuesday, so the numbers are holding up pretty good. I'm thinking pretty comparable to last year's numbers. Um, Quality of the cattle this week was decent, maybe not as good as it could have been. You know, we're kind of getting into the tail end of the calves that are coming here. You know, everybody's kind of picking through their calves, getting those late calves gone off of the mamas so they can get them preg checked and all that. So we're getting some of those kind of tail end calves, but the prices were still great. Actually, the calf prices, we're going to call them maybe $2 or $3 higher. Some of the lighter calves were definitely higher, and probably straight through the 500-pound calves were kind of holding steady, and then some of those big calves are still hitting the lick. I mean, you're getting some 700-pound calves in here. They're bringing, $3 a pound. It's pretty crazy. But our high prices on the calves this week, it was, always a small calf brings the most dollar per pound. So we had a calf brought in by H&P Holdings of Okeechobee and bought by Enterprise. That calf weighed 125 pounds, a little small calf. Brought $7.80 a pound. And y'all, that ain't far from $1,000 for a little old calf. $975. Amazing. And on the butcher cow side, Florida Beef bought our big highest butcher cow, which was brought in by JBM of Fort Pierce. And that cow weighed 1,305 and brought 174. That's $2,300 for a butcher cow. And I happened to be on the ring when a big old Charolais bull came through there and brought like $2.12 a pound, and weighed 1,800. You figured that up? It's close to $4,000. So a lot of money on these butcher animals. A lot of money on these calves. We need it. It's a good time for us to be maybe 2 or 3 notches up on the totem pole instead of being on the bottom for a while. So we're getting good return for our efforts. And speaking of the Charolais bulls, we've got 4 bull sales coming up. And before I forget it, I want to mention those. Not this Friday, but next Friday, which will be the first Friday in October. We have our Angus sale from Deer Valley Farms up in Tennessee, sending about 50-55 head of really good Angus bulls, all virgin bulls, 2-year-old bulls. And speaking of these butcher prices, man, it's just amazing how you can get maybe $4,000 for $3,000 or $4,000 for a butcher bull now. But remember, you need to be looking to put that back into a good bull. So that Angus sale's coming up a week from this Friday, and then following that will be our Brangus sale coming from Little Creek Friends. And then after that, our Charolais sale coming from the Eatons up in Montana. And then our last sale will be the mixed breed sale of Sutphen, John Sutphen. So save some of that money you're getting for these butcher animals to put back in that good bull. And you look at these calves bringing $2,000 now. So my dad always said, save about 4 calves worth to buy a good bull. Well, That's $8,000 if you add that up. So I don't know if these bulls are going to bring that much, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to, bring somewhere $6,000 or $7,000 for a good bull. And that's really not much if you look at what the calves are bringing. So I know it looks a lot to us now because we're just not used to seeing all these numbers as high as they are as far as these dollars. But don't let it surprise you when you have to pay, $7,000 for a bull that a few years ago you were paying $3,500 for. You just need to keep those good bulls in your herd to get those good calves coming back to us here. That's what it's all about. I think not much else going on here. Oh yeah, don't forget that on October the 13th, we have a lot of calls come in about sometimes on these holidays that are on the calendar. That's a Monday, October 13th. And on my phone it says it's Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day. I'm glad that we can celebrate that, but we're going to work that day too, so don't let that scare you. We will have a sale on Monday, October 13th. Other than that, we've got the Thanksgiving holidays coming up. We're always shut down the week of Thanksgiving. All the markets in Florida are. So kind of prepare for that. And then, of course, we shut down a couple of weeks in December for Christmas and New Year's. So I don't know much else going on. It's getting kind of sloppy around here. We had a big rain yesterday. But you guys brought cattle right on in through it, and we appreciate it. We got them sold for you at a good price. And actually right now we're loading some out. So appreciate you bringing them in. We're getting them out here as fast as we can. I expect the butcher price to probably be a little bit off. It was a little off this week, maybe $2 or $3, but not much to really be concerned about. And we don't know exactly the main reason for that, except usually in the late summertime that butcher price falls off a little bit because we have so many cows. And we have had a lot of cows. So that's tapered off a little bit, but still when if you can get $1,500, $1,600 for a butcher cow, wow, we're not used to that. And then of course you saw what the top price brought. That cow brought nearly $2,300. So it's fell off just a little bit, but the calf price is up. It's amazing. It's just what they're bringing. So we're tickled about that. Glad to give you a good big check when you leave here. Nice to see you smiling. We appreciate some of those big runs of cattle we got this week. Several groups there, close to 100 head. And then, of course, all you guys that bring in a trailer load, you're just as important. We'll take them where you got 1 or 100. Appreciate all of our customers. And if you need any help from us, give us a holler. You need some trucking, some trailers to send to you, or semis or whatever, just give us a holler. And if you got something you're thinking about, we can help you, maybe give you an answer on what we think. Like my brother always says, it may be right or it may be wrong, but it's what we think. So we'll be glad to help you and talk with you at any time. Thanks again. I think that's about it. Y'all have a great week and hope to see you at the bull sale, not this Friday, but next Friday, and we'll feed you a steak. Thank you very much.